Hi everyone, it is time for the very last cupcake from this page of 9. I hope you've found this Christmas in July series fun. If you have or haven't, please let me know in the comments, because I want to know whether it's something I should do again or not, because it's a new thing to me. Now I'm looking at our cupcake here, and we have got some holly here, so we're going to start there. I'm going to colour it differently to how I did yesterday's and the previous one, so a different idea again. Why not? Let's try something different. So I'm going to just sharpen my deep cobalt green. I'm also trying to figure out what these are. I think I'm going to colour them as if they're chocolate sticks. So what we're doing here is we're just putting some dark colour at the top and then sort of fading it off by putting less layers as we go down like that. So down here, layering up, going over and over, and then less here. Yeah, I was just drinking my second cup of coffee of the morning, and there was such a loud noise outside. I was trying to identify it. It sounded like a chainsaw or something, but it was up on the top road, so I don't know what's going on up there. So I wasn't at all sure. We're not due any roadworks up there. They usually give you a bit of advance notice. I know there are some on a road a bit further along, but not that one. Right, so now we want a slightly lighter colour. I'm going to go for the dark phthalo green, which I need to sharpen quite desperately. Oh, there we go. So dark phthalo green. So we're going with our sort of bluey greens. You don't have to use your bluey greens. You can use any shades of green. Don't know why I chose these. Now my plan is to make it quite pale as we get towards this central part. We're going to use one more green. It's cooling off nicely in the house, which is good, with the doors and windows open. I'm surprised my son hasn't shut it, to be honest, because I went, it's lovely. But see, they're funny. They're like, oh, it's just perfect, Mum. Don't, this is the phthalo green. It's really short. I'm going to sharpen it. They're like, oh, it's perfect. Shut the door. And I'm like, no, we need to get it down below perfect so that when it warms up later, it then becomes perfect. They don't really understand the logic of it all. Now we want to try and leave just a little bit of white bits there, just so it looks like there's a little bit of shine in our leaf. So it's a different way of doing it, with the shine coming across the centre. It isn't such a realistic way, but then they're not that realistic anyway. You know, my colouring isn't that realistic, so I don't think it matters. It just gives it a little bit of interest, makes it look like it's a little bit shiny. There we go. Now our berries. What should we do? We could use the different. Let's go different, really different. Right, let's start with this burnt carmine. I know. So put some burnt carmine around the edge. It might look a bit more like a cherry, but hey, and fade it down a bit and then leave it. We're going to put another colour in. Like that. And then we want, let's go for this. Whoops. This is the pompeian red. So again, I'm going over the top of the marks where you need to put your white, because I find it easier to put it on top than to try and go around it. If you don't have a white pen, you might need to manoeuvre around those lines, but there we go. Okay, so what are we doing with the cake? Well, oh, chocolate. I always think a Van Dyke brown can make quite a good chocolate colour. I've got to find it. Is that it? Yeah, here it is. Van Dyke brown. I'm just going to do it quite intensely. It looks a bit like a flake. I don't know if you get flakes in America. Would you get a ripple? Maybe? Similar? I don't know. I think flake is a Cadbury thing. I'm not sure. I don't eat chocolate. many different types of chocolate, only very specific. Now this looks like a mint choc chip ice cream to me. I can't colour it like that though, can I? Can I do it minty green with chocolate dots? Yes, why can't I? Let's try. Now what colour? I'm wondering if this will work, but I don't know. I'm going to give it a go. This is our light phthalo green. I don't know if it's going to be, but it looks quite minty, I think. I'm going to do it quite light because remember, like I had before, when it's a buttercream, it's not intensely coloured. I mean, some buttercreams can be, but normally they're a bit lighter and milkier because of the butter. I can imagine eating that much buttercream. Oh. Ugh. You'd want a much bigger cake in proportion to cream, wouldn't you? That's just like bonkers amounts. Anyway. I think that should have been a dot, but it's got coloured over in green, so I'll have to think about that in a minute. I could probably colour over it in the brown and chocolate colour. No, I did used to like quite a bit of buttercream, but not this much. So I was thinking about my mum's chocolate cake, which I talked about in a different video. I couldn't tell you which one. But she would put buttercream in the middle, but only a thin-ish layer. And then a thin spreading across the whole cake, but only like a crumb coating. You know, just a thin amount, just to then put melted chocolate on top. And because she is cooking chocolate, it's a bit more bitter. Not really bitter, but, you know, not as madly sweet as like a milk. It is a milk chocolate, but cooking chocolate tends to be bitter, more bitter. Bitterer? No. No, that's not how you say it. More bitter. English, I don't know how to say it. Doing a crossword this morning. It's a cryptic crossword. And the clue was something about a gangster robin sits on a chimney or something like that. And the answer was hoodlum, because that means gangster. It's a cryptic clue, so that's... But the hood referred to the Robin Hood. And then the lum is apparently a Scottish word for a chimney. Because obviously we all knew that. Not. This is Van Dyke Brown. And also Northern Irish. Interesting that Northern Irish and Scottish words are sometimes similar or the same. I'm going to block these in quite dark, and then I'll put a little white dot on them so that they look like really nice shiny chocolate. Yeah, Northern Irish and Scottish words sometimes the same. But I don't really know any. Well, I don't know really. No, I don't know any at all. That's not true actually. Bairn, B-A-I-R-N, means baby in Scottish. I know that. I don't know why. Now I'm going to do a red striped case because we're going to red striped case. So why not? Let's go for a dark and a light. Let's go for a middle cadmium red and a scarlet red. You can see the difference vaguely enough. Now, I want to make this look more rounded, and with the stripes going this way and the way we're colouring, it'll be much easier to do that. So what you want to do is to put lots of layers here on the edge, and then do a bit less as you come towards the middle, like that. And then the same here. Now we might be able to make it look slightly foily by doing this, like we did right at the beginning on some of the cases. Or it might just give it shape. I think it could, that does look a bit foily, a bit shiny. Depends what your brain likes to do with it. Because obviously, art is often about tricking the brain into thinking something is there that isn't, or it's doing something that isn't. Like, you know, putting a bit of white on here to make it look shiny. the bread, you know, we know that's not shiny, it's just flat colouring with some white pen on, but our brain can interpret it differently. Interesting, isn't it? I find the brain fascinating. There's something, what was I reading the other day, how exercise, cardio exercise, helps to increase the amount of connections in the brain, scarlet red, between the different, is it neurons, I think, in the brain. So cardio exercise is good, and that just means anything that gets you out of breath. So even if you're walking fast, that's potentially doing you some good. I don't know how out of breath you have to get, to be honest, to describe cardio. But when my Fit app tells me I've got heart points, then I assume that I've done enough. But I don't know how accurate it is. Do you have the Fit app on my phone? It tells me how many steps I've done, and it gives me a heart points rating. I never have enough heart points, but I have more than I used to, and I'm happy with that at this stage. Okay, I think that could look shiny foily, or it could just look rounded. Does it matter? No. So white pen to do the dots. I think this is too thick. I'm going to look for my little pen. My pencil box, pen box. Sorry, I'm having a rustle around. There it is. So this is my Jelly Roll, whoops, my Jelly Roll 5, which is my really skinny nib. And I'm going to put a little dot. If you don't have the 5, if you've got an 8 or a regular sized white pen, be good. I just find this Languo one, although it's really good most of the time, a little bit too thick for really teeny things. There we go. We've just got a few dots. I don't even know if you can see them. And then I'm going to use my thicker one for the cherries, because I want to cover these thick areas that are drawn on. I wouldn't normally do them that thick if I was just doing it myself. I'm going to put a little bit on there and there, but you know, just following what the illustrator has shown us. So there is that one done. I don't really want to do anything else with that one. I'm quite happy with it as it is. So I'm going to zoom out so you can see the whole page. Whoops, just need to move the book slightly. There we go. Let's come out. It's a very slow zoom, but you can see all the different ideas. Hopefully, there we go. All the different cakes. Which one you're going to have? I want you to tell me in the comments which one you're going to eat. For me, this one. And I'm going to pick off all the icing and the sweets and not eat them and just eat that cake. I think that's the easiest one to eat. Or maybe this one I could do the same thing, because that sugar icing you can just peel off and throw away. And then I could eat the cherry. So I think I'll have this one. But yeah, let me know which one, because I'm interested. Which one you'd eat. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the series. As I said at the beginning, let me know if you enjoyed it, if you liked the idea of doing some Christmas in July, or whether you felt it was just a little bit off. You know, it wasn't quite right for you. I'm just interested in knowing. It's nice to know what people like and dislike, although I try to just do what I like, to be honest. But anyway, there we are. Thank you for watching. Have a super day and happy colouring.